Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's New Week of Comics, and in my hands is a first printing of a comic that's getting a second printing this week. Somehow I missed the first printing, and that's a shame. But I'm catching up now because this series has been badass. So it is called Vlad Dracul. This is issue 3 of the series. I've done the first 2 issues, as I said. Somehow I missed the third issue being released, but I'm not going to miss the second printing because this has been a fantastic, fantastic series. Really, really impressed. So it's written by Matteo Strukul. Art is by Andrea Mutti. Colorist is Vladimir Popov. So this is the real history of Vlad Dracul. You might know him as Dracula, the man who inspired Dracula. A brutal, I won't even call him a brutal leader, because, at least the issue doesn't necessarily show his brutality towards his people. He's actually very protective of his people. But he's a brutal person in general. And the base of the story is that he is the ruler of a place called Wallachia, and they are they're under control of the Ottoman Empire. And then one day he's just like, yeah, I'm not down with that, and decides to rise up against the Ottoman Empire, and going against the leader was Muhammad II. And this is the story of his clash with Muhammad II. And then he's got a brother who was on the side of Muhammad, who's trying to get him overthrown and take over, at least be installed by Muhammad. It's a really, really interesting series. The third issue, so the first 2 issues are brutal and crazy, and I just left everyone each issue going, holy shit, I want to read the next one. The third issue I actually feel is a little rushed. I would like to see more detail as to everything that's happened. But as far as I know, it wraps up the story. I think it's just a 3-issue series. As far as I know, it wraps up the story as is, and we see kind of the battle play out, some more tactics that Dracul does, and I think where kind of the myth of Dracula starts coming from. Throughout all of it is what's interesting is it's highlighted his brutality. When I say brutal, and here they give a number, is that at one point he impaled 20,000 Ottomans. Yeah, that's not a normal thing. And then he does something here that even I sat there and said, holy crap, I can't believe that was a tactic, and he went and did it. The dude just had no, did not give it. His whole thing was winning. He just wanted to win and get his independence for his people and stand up. The thing I think the third issue does really well, and why I think there really should be a 4th, 5th, and 6th issue, is the third issue seems a bit more focused on getting allies to help himself. It's not something that's come up a lot in the first 2 issues. The first issue is really kind of the uprising, the second is kind of the battle, and this is things winding down. But the third issue is really him trying to get reinforcements and to help his war, which is definitely something that needs to be addressed, because I would have left there being did no one want to help him? And it also really depicts how this was kind of framed at the time, is that this was a Christian uprising against the Muslim oppressors. So he was being praised and kind of pushed and encouraged by quite a few more Christian nations. I think Pius, I don't remember which Pius it was, is mentioned in this as to giving you go, but didn't send any reinforcements or money to help out. And that seems to be the response from everyone. So this kind of dives more into the political aspects of it, and him attempting to find allies and gain reinforcements for his war, and things obviously don't go well. So it wraps things up. It wraps things up decently, how it ends, but at the same time it just feels a little rushed. I kind of wanted a little bit more detail on stuff, and I think it would have been better to maybe focus a bit more on some of the battles that went on that could have been stretched out and been way cooler. Not saying they weren't cool. There's some really badass stuff in here. And done the political, and maybe ended the issue on the I know what I need to do, and then have a 4th issue being what that is. And it's good though. It really wraps things up, and finishing it off. I didn't know anything about this guy, and I want to go and find out more at this point. I really want to see how much of these comics are true, and how much detail is actually there, because it feels fairly researched as to the major points as to what happened and like I would say the major events and stuff like that. Like, you know, obviously we don't know day to day as to what happened, so there's some dramatization, but like the big picture seems to be here. And this dude, he was interesting, like really, really interesting. Crazy as shit in like this, you know, willing to torture people and just raise the earth to smite his enemy. But at the same time, he also comes off as like a person who really kind of cares about his nation and wants to protect his people and I don't know if I would say gain independence, but definitely kind of do their thing. And I think that's a really fascinating thing. Like, I would have loved to have seen more about him actually ruling his people to get a better sense of that. So, overall, like, the 3 issues are beyond solid. Like, if you have any interest in history, go for it. Like, this would be cool for people who are into history. It's cool for people who would be into fantasy. It'd be cool for people who want to maybe see where the story of Dracula came from. There's a lot here, and I think a lot of people enjoy it. Or if you like, this is like, if you really like Game of Thrones, like, you'll probably dig this. This is just, the series as a whole is just so cool. And the 3 issues are out. You know, the second printing is out for this. You know, it might be hard to get a hold of. We're gonna have some links underneath the video. Hopefully you can purchase them. But this is some cool stuff. And if you can't get the single issues, check out the trade. Like, this would be a great read. The art is awesome. So, speaking of the art, we'll show that off, because, as I said, the art is awesome. Get started with some of the figuring out what's going on, walking into a castle, hopefully to get, yeah, see, I can't show that, because if I show that, it's going to tip off a really cool moment. We'll show off a little action. We'll get some battles going on. And it's later. We'll just show off a page of like one battle. Yeah, here we go. This isn't a spoiler. This is a battle later on. You can check out some of the stuff there. Like, I really dig the style. I love the writing, the art, the history, all of this. This is just such a cool series. Really psyched that I got to check this out and dive in. The concept sounded really cool, and I'm glad I eventually, you know, forced myself to read it and walked away very, very happy. So, as I said, second printing of the 3rd issue is out this week. Go take advantage if you missed it. Vlad Dracul, really cool series. Really, really, really cool stuff. Some of the best stuff I've read, I think, this year. I want to see more stuff like this. I'd love to see an expanded version with even more of his history. So yeah, you can go get this in comic shops. We got a link beneath this video where you can put in a zip code and it'll tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We do have some affiliate links. There are affiliate links, so we get a small percentage of that by doing that. You help support our site. Some of those will be comic shops, so you get to support them as well. And just watching this video support us, so thank you so much for that. As always, if you are into the latest comic news, Scout Comics news, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.